Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're not really doing a movie review. Today I'm going to be talking about the 10 films I'm looking forward to the most in 2016. It is that time of year. We're reaching the end of 2015. 2016 is about to begin, and we have a whole new set of films for a whole new year ahead of us. And for this video, I'm going to talk about my personal top 10 for films I'm really looking forward to in 2016, with 10 being the least anticipated to number 1 being the most anticipated of the year, even though all 10 of these films I'm really looking forward to. And there's actually a lot of films throughout 2016 that didn't make it to the list that I'm also looking forward to, but we're just going to focus on the 10 that I'm personally looking forward to the most. So we're going to start at number 10, and that's the BFG. It's going to be the new Steven Spielberg film that comes out in July of 2016, and it's going to be a film adaptation of the Roald Dahl novel The BFG, focusing on a little girl's friendship with a giant who is from his species. That they're basically human giants, but they eat smaller people. And so the movie's going to be about how this giant who doesn't like to eat people becomes friends with a little girl in this orphanage, and kind of the politics of why the giants and the people can't be in the same places together, why they can't live in the same places, even though the giants like to eat the people and stuff like that. So it's definitely kind of like an E.T., Romeo and Juliet kind of two people from two different places becoming friends, and that's kind of forbidden amongst both those groups. And I'm looking forward to see how Steven Spielberg adapts that Roald Dahl novel into a movie. We also have the final screenplay by Melissa Matheson, who passed away not too long ago. She worked on E.T. for Steven Spielberg, one of his most notable movies ever, next to Schindler's List. And so I'm curious to see her last screenplay go into effect, and seeing if her and Spielberg could work magic for the final time in her life, and will hopefully be Steven Spielberg doing this again all over again as far as working magic goes into a movie. So the BFG, it makes it in at number 10. At number 9, we have Assassin's Creed. It's going to be a video game film adaptation of the same name. Comes out in December of 2016, and it's going to focus on a individual who has a great ancestor of some kind of like in the games. I think this one takes place in Spain somewhere. And so somebody from the modern day finds out about this ancestor who was an assassin in Spain, several centuries ago, and kind of how knowing about that and being a part of that in some way helps them in the modern day find out about something, or at least that's what's been talked about online about it. But I'm curious to see what they do with it. They do have a lot of people from that new Macbeth movie that's either coming out soon or has already come out and had a small release. Like Marion Cotillard is one of my favorite actresses of all time, is going to be in the movie. Michael Fassbender, who's also in Macbeth, is going to be in this movie as well. I think it even has the same director as Macbeth, so it's basically a Macbeth reunion. Um, but I'm really excited because I've seen some screenshots of the movie. I've heard about people who are trying to get some paparazzi shots from the set, and they can't because Michael Fassbender blends into this environment so well, in a good way, just like in the video game. So they're doing a lot of things with it that I'm looking forward to. I don't really play the Assassin's Creed games, but from what I know about them and know about the concept, it sounds like it could be a really fun movie that they're exploring in the right way. So I'm hoping come December of 2016, we're going to have a really good film about that video game. Expect Assassin's Creed in December of 2016. At number 8, we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is going to be a spin off to the Harry Potter franchise. I believe it takes place in either the 1920s or 1950s. Either way, it's going to take place many, many years before Harry Potter was even born. It takes place in that same wizarding world, though, about a guy who is trying to make an encyclopedia about all these fantastic creatures and beasts that exist within the wizarding world, and his experience of making this encyclopedia so that other people can know about them. So the film is going to focus on that, and I guess there's going to be small little Harry Potter references here and there. Sounds like a fun time. I know the teaser trailer's up online now. Looks like a fun time. J.K. Rowling herself is even going to be involved in the screenplay. That one comes out in November of 2016. At number 7, I have X-Men Apocalypse on my list, and I'm really looking forward to this movie. I love Days of Future Past. It was actually my favorite film of 2014. But this one, they don't have a time travel element in, unfortunately. I was really hoping they were going to continue that because it was a lot of fun in Days of Future Past. Another fun element that's going to be kind of gone in this one is no Hugh Jackman. If he is in it, it's probably just going to be a glorified cameo appearance. But I'm looking forward to what they do. Oscar Isaac is definitely on a hot run these days with movies. You know, he was in that new Star Wars movie. He's been in Ex Machina. He's been in some ton of big movies lately. He was in Drive a couple years ago. Um, he's going to play Apocalypse in this movie. We have Olivia Munn in this movie. Tons of hot, fresh, young new faces who are going to be in the movie as well. So can't wait to see what Bryan Singer does because he is coming back in this for this one after Days of Future Past, and we all saw how wonderful he did with that movie. So I can't wait to see what they do with X-Men Apocalypse coming out in May of 2016. At number 6, we have Suicide Squad. This is the new David Ayer film focused on the DC comic of the same name. It's going to focus on a league of supervillains this time and how they're going to be incorporated into later DC movies. Will Smith is going to play Deadshot, I think, and Tom Hardy's going to play Rick Flag, and there's actually a trailer up online for this movie as well. Harley Quinn is going to be played by Margot Robbie from Wolf of Wall Street fame. It just looks like a good time. I'm glad that they're making a movie about the villains for once. So hopefully that's going to be an interesting take on them. Suicide Squad comes out in August of 2016. At number 5, I have Finding Dory. This is the sequel to Finding Nemo that people have been looking forward to for years. I mean, I think it's kind of cool how, you know, Nemo's still in the film, Marlin from the first film is coming back, but it's really going to be more so about Dory this time. And I think that's kind of cool because I know Dory's one of the more memorable parts of the first Finding Nemo. She's definitely one of the more humorous parts of the first Finding Nemo. So it'll be interesting to see how they continue her story. Pixar seems to be making a lot of really good films, and they had a really good film last year, or I should say this year still, with Inside Out. So I can't wait for Finding Dory. It comes out in June of 2016. At number 4, we actually have a film that a lot of people are talking about, and I think they should. This film I have at number 4 is called Sausage Party, and even though that is a very goofy title, and you'll definitely see here why in a minute it's called Sausage Party, it's kind of an original story, and I guess that's why I'm looking forward to this. I really don't know a lot of other animated films that have done this. So it's going to be about a group of hot dogs who are in like this little packaging in a grocery store, and I think one of them gets lost from the packaging within the grocery store. It falls off the grocery cart, or I think all of them do, or something. There's not a lot of details about the movie yet. And so they get lost, and it's the 4th of July sale, and they want to get sold, or maybe they don't want to get sold. We'll have to find out. And so they get lost in the grocery store, and they encounter all these other evil food products and want to be their friend. And so it's kind of their journey about discovering what hot dogs are, what their own destiny is about. And about them either getting back onto the shelf or trying to escape the grocery store before somebody buys them and eats them. So it'll be interesting to see what direction they take with it. But either way, it sounds like a very interesting story, and I'm kind of glad that we're not just getting another cutesy little animal story. I like how they're going for that R-rated, original comedic approach on a grocery store. I think that's kind of unique. So at number 4, we have Sausage Party, and at the moment it is aiming for a August of 2016 release. At number 3, we have Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. A lot of people are looking forward to this movie, including myself. Zack Snyder's coming back to direct this movie after he just did Man of Steel in 2013. This is going to be the first film where Ben Affleck gets to play Batman, since that was a huge news feed buzz back when that first happened. Can't wait to see what they do with this. I think the politics of Batman and Superman, kind of the rights and wrongs that they do as superheroes and as people, sound really interesting. I hope that the whole shoehorning Doomsday in at the last minute, I hope that part of the trailer that we saw doesn't actually happen in the movie. Otherwise, I'll be really disappointed. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're doing. If this movie bombs, that might not be good for that future Justice League film that Warner Brothers is planning, but this is the film that is supposed to set up that movie, so it makes me more excited in that sense. So I can't wait to see what both DC, Warner Brothers, and Zack Snyder do with Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice. It's my number 3 pick. Comes out in March of 2016. At number 2, we have another film a lot of people are looking forward to, and that's Captain America 3 Civil War. I loved what the Russo brothers did with Captain America 2 The Winter Soldier, and this film's a continuation of that movie, especially after Avengers 2 as well. I think the politics of superheroes being themselves and superheroes listening to the government for things, I think that's kind of interesting. I think it's interesting how in this film, from what I know about it, Tony Stark is more along the line of what the government wants now. He's himself has realized what negative things Iron Man has done and why Iron Man has to change for the better of humanity. So I like how there's that politics, and I like how Captain America's still on the side of no, we have to be our own heroes. It's working so far. We have to continue doing what we're doing, or else we're not going to be the people that we already are. So I like how that film, once again, kind of like Batman versus Superman, is going to explore the politics of superheroes. I think that's still interesting. There's still more we can do with that part of superhero movies. So I can't wait to see how Captain America 3 plays around with that. We also get our first look with Black Panther in this movie as well. So Captain America 3 Civil War comes out in May of 2016, and it's my number 2 pick. And at number 1, this is probably a lot of other people's number 1 pick for their most anticipated 2016 film. It's going to be Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This is the first anthology Star Wars film that Disney's releasing. This film is going to be about how a group of rebels tried to steal the Death Star plans before the events of Episode 4. So it's basically a story that happens late after Episode 3 but before Episode 4 in the Star Wars timeline. And we kind of get to figure out more of how that opening scene played out the way it did in Episode 4. I've heard that James Earl Jones will have a voice cameo as Darth Vader, and we actually get to see Darth Vader at some point in the movie from what's been rumored. Just can't wait to see what they do with it. It comes out in December of next year, around the same time for The Force Awakens came out this year. So can't wait to see what Gareth Edward does. I thought he did an excellent job with the Godzilla reboot in 2014. Can't wait to see what he does with Star Wars. So Rogue One, a Star Wars story, comes out in December of 2016. That's my number 1 pick for most anticipated 2016 films. So hope you guys enjoyed this list. I'll see you guys here for the next video. Let me know down below if there's any titles you're looking forward to in 2016 that I didn't talk about, or if I did talk about a film that you're also interested in. Let me know down below too why you're also interested in seeing that movie in 2016. Or tell me why you didn't like any of these picks from my 2016 picks. Are there films on here that you're worried about? Why are you worried about them? And once again, if there's a title that I missed, feel free to talk about that title that I missed. So hope to see you guys here for the next video, and we'll see you next time.